Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, is hailed as a masterpiece that redefined the Western genre, with its gripping storyline, unforgettable characters, and sweeping cinematography. But behind the scenes, the lives of its talented cast were marked by tales of heartbreak, resilience, and tragedy. In this video, we'll uncover the untold stories of the 29 actors who helped make this film a legend. From tragic accidents and mysterious illnesses to personal struggles and remarkable comebacks, each member of this star-studded cast left a unique legacy. Join us as we journey beyond the screen, revealing the highs and lows, the triumphs and tragic endings, of the actors who made Once Upon a Time in the West unforgettable. Jack Elam was born on November 13, 1920, in Miami, Arizona, USA. Known for his distinctive appearance, Elam played Snakey, a member of Frank's gang in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968. His unique look, with a droopy eye and a tough demeanor, made him a perfect fit for playing intimidating and often sinister characters, especially in westerns. Elam's career was steady, and he appeared in over 100 films, frequently playing henchmen or villains, but he also had a knack for adding depth to his roles. Off-screen, his life was not without personal struggles. He was married twice and had 2 children, but his relationships were often turbulent, and his health problems, including severe vision issues, complicated his career in his later years. Elam's vision impairment, caused by a botched eye surgery in the 1950s, led to him wearing an eye patch for a significant portion of his life. Beyond his health challenges, Elam was deeply affected by the death of his close friend, Lee Marvin, which left him grieving for years. Jack Elam passed away on October 20, 2003, in Ashland, Oregon, at the age of 82, due to congestive heart failure. Gabriele Ferzetti was born on March 17, 1925, in Rome, Italy. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he portrayed Morton, the ambitious and ruthless railroad baron who stops at nothing to expand his empire. Morton's unyielding drive for power became a defining trait of his character, and Ferzetti's performance remains one of his most notable. Throughout his career, Ferzetti appeared in a wide range of films, especially in Italian cinema, and was recognized for his strong presence on screen. He was married 3 times, and from his marriages, he had a daughter. Despite his professional success, his personal life was often marked by challenges. His marriages ended in divorce, and he faced financial struggles later in life, which contrasted with his earlier fame. Ferzetti was affected by the loss of several close friends, including the legendary Orson Welles, whose death deeply impacted him. After a lengthy career, Ferzetti's later years were marked by declining health, and he passed away on December 2, 2015, in Rome at the age of 90. Jason Robards was born on July 26, 1922, in Chicago, Illinois, USA. He is best known for his role as Manuel Cheyenne Gutierrez in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, where he portrayed a charming and roguish bandit leader with a sense of justice. His performance in the film cemented his place as a key figure in the Western genre. Robards' career spanned over 5 decades, with notable films such as All the President's Men, 1976, and The Paper, 1994. Though he was critically acclaimed, Robards faced personal struggles, including alcohol addiction, which affected his relationships and career at times. In his personal life, he was married to actress Lauren Bacall from 1961 until their divorce in 1969. He later married Lois O'Connor in 1970, with whom he had 2 children. Robards endured several difficult moments in his life, including the painful loss of his friend and fellow actor, George C. Scott, with whom he shared a close bond. His greatest tragedy came in the form of a battle with lung cancer, which ultimately took his life. Jason Robards died on December 26, 2000, at the age of 78, due to complications from the disease. Woody Strode was born on July 25, 1914, in Los Angeles, California, USA. He portrayed Stoney in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, a towering and silent member of Frank's gang. Strode was one of the few African-American actors to make a significant impact in westerns, overcoming racial barriers in Hollywood. His career spanned multiple genres, but his standout roles included performances in Spartacus, 1960, and The Professionals, 1966. Strode's personal life was filled with both success and tragedy. He married his wife, Luana Patton, in the early 1950s, and they had one son together. However, their marriage ended in divorce, and Strode faced several difficult moments as he struggled with loneliness and financial instability in the later years of his life. His most poignant tragedy was the loss of his only son, who died in a car accident. Strode's health also declined rapidly due to lung cancer, which ultimately took his life on December 31, 1994, at the age of 80. He passed away in Glendora, California, leaving behind a legacy as a trailblazer for African-American actors in Hollywood. Henry Fonda was born on May 16, 1905, in Grand Island, Nebraska, USA. His portrayal of Frank, the cold-blooded villain in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, solidified his place as one of the greatest actors in the history of American cinema. Fonda's transition from the likable, heroic characters he was known for to the villainous Frank was a bold move, and he was praised for his chilling performance. Fonda's career spanned decades, and he became an icon in Hollywood, earning Academy Awards and critical acclaim. However, his personal life was fraught with difficulties. He was married 5 times, and his relationships were often tumultuous. His marriage to Frances Seymour, with whom he had 2 children, ended tragically when she took her own life in 1950. Fonda's relationship with his children was also strained at times, though he was very close to his daughter, actress Jane Fonda. His later years were filled with sorrow, especially after the death of his dear friend. Henry Fonda passed away on August 12, 1982, in Los Angeles, California, from cardiorespiratory arrest at the age of 77. Charles Bronson was born on November 3, 1921, in Ehrenfeld, Pennsylvania, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he brought to life the iconic character of Harmonica, a mysterious gunslinger driven by revenge. Bronson's career skyrocketed during the 1960s and 1970s, with key roles in The Magnificent Seven, 1960, and the Death Wish series. Despite his success, Bronson's personal life was marked by significant loss and hardship. He married actress Jill Ireland in 1968, but their happiness was shadowed by Ireland's long battle with breast cancer. Bronson was deeply affected by her death in 1990, and his grief marked the end of a golden chapter in his life. His career suffered a decline in the 1980s, but he continued to work well into the 1990s. Tragically, Bronson's life was cut short when he died of pneumonia on August 30, 2003, at the age of 81, just a few years after the passing of his beloved wife. Frank Wolfe was born on May 11, 1928, in San Francisco, California, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played Brett McBain, a homesteader whose tragic fate serves as a catalyst for the film's main events. McBain's character, filled with hope for a new beginning in the West, is killed early in the movie, setting the stage for the vengeance that drives much of the plot. Wolfe's portrayal of McBain added depth to the film's themes of loss and revenge. Tragically, Frank Wolfe's own life mirrored some of the darkness of the character he portrayed. He was married twice, first to actress Jean Hale, with whom he had a son, and later to actress Verna Bloom. His personal life, however, was marred by struggles with depression, which ultimately led to his untimely death. On December 12, 1971, at the age of 43, Wolfe took his own life in Rome, Italy. His sudden death shocked those who knew him, and it was widely mourned by his friends and colleagues. Wolfe's passing left a void in the film industry, as he had been a promising actor with many more roles ahead of him. John Frederick was born on July 4, 1916, in Norwalk, Iowa, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played Jim, a tough and loyal member of Frank's gang. Jim's role in the film was significant, as he was not only a skilled gunman but also a reliable and fierce ally to Frank, adding a layer of danger to the already deadly gang. John Frederick's career spanned decades, and he was known for his roles in both film and television, but he was often relegated to supporting parts. His personal life was not without tragedy. Frederick married twice and had children, but his marriages ended in divorce. He faced the heartbreaking loss of his eldest child in an accident, which he struggled to cope with for the rest of his life. As his career slowed down, Frederick found himself facing financial difficulties, as roles in Hollywood grew scarce for older actors. Despite these hardships, he lived a relatively quiet life in California. He passed away on November 11, 2006, in Palm Desert, California, at the age of 90, from natural causes. Paulo Stopa, born on June 6, 1906, in Rome, Italy, was a distinguished actor known for his versatile roles in both Italian and international cinema. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played Sam, the coachman, who served as a quiet, dependable character amidst the turbulent events of the American West. Sam's unwavering loyalty and peaceful nature contrasted sharply with the violence around him, making him a sympathetic and reliable presence in the story. Off-screen, Stopa was married to actress Maria Teresa Ricci, and they had one child together, a daughter named Paola. Despite his long-lasting marriage, Paulo's life was touched by tragedy. His first son, Roberto, passed away in childhood, which left a deep emotional scar on him and his wife. Paulo himself struggled with health issues in his later years and was diagnosed with leukemia. He passed away on May 1, 1988, in Rome, Italy, at the age of 81. The loss of his son and his own battle with illness cast a shadow over his final years, but he left behind a legacy in Italian cinema. Robert Hosein was born on December 30, 1927, in Paris, France. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he appeared in a flashback as a member of Frank's gang, adding a rich layer to the film's historical context. His character's brief but impactful appearance contributed to the movie's exploration of the past and the men who built the American frontier. Hosein, a versatile actor, also found success as a director and writer, especially in French cinema, and was known for his roles in historical and action films. However, his life was not without its struggles. He was married twice and had 2 children, but his relationship suffered from the strain of his busy career. Hosein was particularly affected by the loss of his close friend and mentor, fellow French actor Jean Gabin, whose death left him heartbroken. Hosein also faced several health issues as he aged, including a battle with a severe illness that kept him out of the public eye for many years. He passed away on December 31, 2020, in Issy-les-Nancy, France, at the age of 93, from complications related to COVID-19. Keenan Win, born on July 27, 1916, in New York City, New York, USA, was a seasoned actor known for his supporting roles in numerous films, including Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, where he portrayed the sheriff, a lawman tasked with keeping order in the lawless town of Flagstone. In the film, Win's character was stern and decisive, bringing a sense of authority to the chaotic environment. Off-screen, Keenan was married 3 times and had a family with his second wife, actress Evie Wynn. Despite his success in Hollywood, Win's life was filled with personal turmoil, including multiple divorces and the challenge of maintaining relationships. His health also began to decline in his later years. Keenan Win battled pancreatic cancer for several years, which ultimately led to his death on October 14, 1986, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 70. His passing was mourned by many, and his death marked the end of a long and varied career in both film and television. Win's tragic final years, marked by illness and family difficulties, were a stark contrast to the strong, authoritative characters he often played. Frank Brana was born on February 24, 1934, in Pola de Allende, Asturias, Spain. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he portrayed a member of Frank's gang, a character who added a menacing touch to the already sinister group. With his grim presence, Brana's role enhanced the tension that permeated the film. His career, which spanned several decades, included work in numerous Italian spaghetti westerns, but it was the role in Once Upon a Time in the West that solidified his place in film history. Frank was married twice during his life. His first marriage was to actress Loli Alvarez, with whom he had one child, a daughter named Maria. However, their marriage ended in divorce, and Frank later remarried a woman named Anna, with whom he lived for the rest of his life. Though he was mostly quiet about his personal struggles, Brana faced several significant hardships. One of his greatest tragedies was losing his close friend and fellow actor, John Maria Vallant, who passed away from a heart attack in 1994. Brana himself battled severe health issues, and his life came to an end on February 13, 2012, when he succumbed to respiratory failure at the age of 77. Lionel Stander was born on January 11, 1908, in New York City, New York, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played the barman, a seemingly gruff but kind-hearted figure who provided some semblance of stability in a world filled with chaos and violence. His role was small but memorable, adding depth to the Western's atmosphere. Stander's career began in the 1930s, and he appeared in numerous films and television series, including Heart to Heart, where his role as Max the Butler gained him significant popularity. His personal life, however, was marked by a number of misfortunes. He was married 3 times, and though he had a few children, his relationships were troubled, and his first marriage ended in an extremely bitter divorce. Stander was deeply affected by the loss of several close friends, including actor and co-star in Heart to Heart. Later in life, Stander was diagnosed with lung cancer, which he bravely battled until his passing. He died on November 30, 1994, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 86, succumbing to the disease. Antonio Molino Rojo, born on September 14, 1926, in Venta de Baños, Spain, is remembered for his role in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, as a member of Frank's gang during the auction scene. His character, though not one of the central figures, added to the sense of intimidation that permeated the gang's activities. Rojo's career in Spanish cinema included appearances in many films, particularly in the Western genre, where his rugged appearance and ability to convey menace made him a popular choice for villainous roles. Off-screen, Rojo faced many of the challenges that come with a career in a cutthroat industry. He was married twice and had 2 children. However, his marriages were troubled, with both ending in divorce. Despite his personal challenges, Rojo found solace in his family, particularly in his children, though they rarely spoke publicly about him after his death. His life was marred by periods of financial instability, and he struggled to find work after his fame as a supporting actor waned. Rojo passed away on November 2, 2011, in Barcelona, Spain, at the age of 85. Aldo Sell was born on February 23, 1931, in Vallecas, Spain. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, Sell portrayed Cheyenne's lieutenant, a loyal and fierce member of the bandit group. His presence added a layer of intensity to the film's already complex characters. Throughout his career, Sell appeared in numerous spaghetti westerns, including A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, and For a Few Dollars More, 1965, where he often played villainous characters, cementing his status as a key figure in the genre. Sell was married twice and had 3 children, with his first wife, Pilar, who passed away prematurely, causing him profound grief. His second marriage to Carmen was one of love and stability, with the couple remaining together for over 30 years. Despite his success, Sell struggled with the emotional and physical toll of his career. One of the deepest tragedies of his life was the untimely death of his close friend, the director Sergio Leone, in 1989. Sell was devastated by the loss of the man who had given him some of his most iconic roles. In the final years of his life, Sell faced a series of strokes that severely impacted his health, ultimately leading to his death on July 10, 2010, at the age of 79, due to a cerebral infarction. Ricardo Palacios, born on March 2, 1940, in Reynosa, Cantabria, Spain, played Morton's train conductor in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968. Although his role was relatively minor, Palacios' ability to add depth to even the smallest parts made him a respected actor in Spain. His career spanned various genres, including westerns, where he worked alongside some of the most famous actors of the era. Palacios' personal life was marked by challenges, including the toll that his demanding career took on his health. He was married once and had children, but his relationships were strained due to the pressures of his career and his long absences. He was especially close to his son, whom he reportedly tried to shield from the harsh realities of his profession. In his later years, Palacios struggled with a number of health issues, including heart problems, which ultimately led to his death. Ricardo Palacios passed away on February 11, 2015, in Madrid, Spain, at the age of 74, due to heart failure. Michael Harvey was born on April 18, 1920, in Los Angeles, California, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, Harvey played Frank's lieutenant, a ruthless and cold-blooded enforcer who carried out Frank's orders without hesitation. His portrayal of the character was chilling, helping to amplify the fearsome nature of the gang. Harvey's career was built on playing tough, no-nonsense characters, often in westerns and crime dramas. While his career flourished during the 1950s and 1960s, Harvey's personal life was marked by struggle. He had a brief marriage to actress Barbara Rhodes, with whom he had 2 children. Unfortunately, the marriage ended in divorce after only a few years, and Harvey later remarried in the 1970s, this time to a woman named Doris, with whom he remained until his passing. The actor experienced deep sorrow with the death of his close friend and co-star, Lee Marvin, in 1987. The loss deeply affected him, as they had shared a strong bond both on and off screen. In his later years, Harvey faced health complications that slowly took their toll. On May 1, 1995, he passed away from natural causes at the age of 75. Aldo Berti was born on February 29, 1936, in Florence, Tuscany, Italy. He played a member of Frank's gang in Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, where his poker-playing character added to the overall atmosphere of tension and menace surrounding Frank's crew. Aldo Berti's career primarily focused on the European film scene, where he often appeared in spaghetti westerns. In his career, Aldo worked with prominent directors such as Sergio Leone, contributing to films that would become iconic in the genre. Berti's personal life, however, was filled with turmoil. He was married twice, the first marriage to a woman named Carla, with whom he had a son, Lorenzo. The marriage ended in a bitter divorce that left Aldo emotionally scarred. He remarried in the 1980s, but this union also ended tragically with the death of his wife due to a car accident in 1993. The loss of his second wife sent Aldo into a deep depression that affected both his personal and professional life. One of the hardest blows came in 1996 when his good friend and co-actor, Luigi Pistilli, died suddenly. Aldo himself succumbed to a brain tumor on December 26, 2010, in Florence, Italy, at the age of 74, after battling illness for several months. Saturno Sara was born on November 25, 1924, in Sobrino, Rabadizela, Asturias, Spain. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played one of Frank's gang members aboard the train, contributing to the menacing and unpredictable atmosphere that defined the film's tense moments. Sara, with his silent yet intense presence, was a fixture in Spanish cinema, though he often played supporting roles, usually portraying villains or tough characters. Despite the recognition for his intense performances, Sara's personal life was marked by loneliness. He married early, but his marriage ended in separation, leaving him heartbroken. The actor faced multiple challenges in his career, including periods of financial instability. He also experienced the painful loss of several close colleagues, including his longtime friend, the Spanish actor Fernando Rey, who passed away in 1994. This loss deeply affected Sara, and his health deteriorated as a result. Saturno Sara died on December 5, 2015, in his hometown of Sobrino, Robards, Asturias, Spain, at the age of 91. Bruno Caruso was born on December 30, 1940, in Castellarano, Reggio Emilia, Italy. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played a loyal and tough member of Cheyenne's gang, helping to round out the complexity of the bandit group. Caruso's career was diverse, spanning both Italian and international cinema, with notable roles in action films and spaghetti westerns. However, his career was not without challenges. In his personal life, Caruso faced the sudden death of his beloved younger brother, which left him devastated and emotionally scarred for years. He later struggled with the pressures of fame and the isolation that came with being a character actor. Caruso had a family, though his relationships were often troubled, and he endured a divorce that left him emotionally drained. He also witnessed the untimely deaths of many of his friends and colleagues in the industry, including a close friend and fellow actor, Giuliano Gemma, who tragically passed away in a car accident in 2013. Bruno Caruso passed away on July 29, 2021, in Nepi, Lazio, Italy, at the age of 80, due to undisclosed causes. Bonito Stefanelli, born on September 2, 1928, in Rome, Italy, was an actor who became known for his imposing presence in Italian cinema. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he played Frank's lieutenant, a ruthless enforcer who was completely loyal to Frank's gang. His portrayal of the character added a dangerous edge to the film's antagonist group, as his cold dedication to carrying out orders stood in stark contrast to the emotional turmoil surrounding the main characters. Throughout his career, Stefanelli appeared in numerous spaghetti westerns and worked alongside many famous actors, but his life was also marked by personal and professional struggles. Bonito was married, but details about his wife and children are largely unknown. His personal life, however, was shadowed by the devastating loss of several close friends in the film industry. One of his most significant losses was the sudden death of his close friend and fellow actor, Gian Maria Vallant, who died in 1994. This tragedy deeply affected him. Stefanelli himself passed away on December 18, 1999, in Rome, Italy, at the age of 71. Don Galloway was born on July 27, 1937, in Augusta, Kentucky, USA. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, Galloway portrayed a member of Frank's gang in a flashback scene, which added important historical context to the narrative, providing a glimpse into the darker, violent past of the gang. Don's career spanned television and film, and he gained significant recognition in the 1970s for his role in the TV series Ironside, 1967 to 1975, where he played Officer Ed Brown. Although he was successful in his career, Don faced personal struggles that deeply affected his life. He married twice, first to actress Laurie Anders, with whom he had 2 children, a son named Jeremy and a daughter named Linda. His first marriage ended in divorce, and he later remarried in the late 1980s to a woman named Alice. Tragically, Don experienced great grief when his close friend and colleague, Raymond Burr, passed away in 1993 after a long battle with cancer. Despite his fame, Don's life was marked by isolation in his later years. The stroke that claimed his life on January 8, 2009, in Reno, Nevada, at the age of 71. Conrado San Martin was born on February 20, 1921, in Higuera de los Duenes, Avila, Spain. In Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, he portrayed Vecino, a quiet but important neighbor in the film, whose presence helped bring a sense of community and authenticity to the isolated desert landscape. Throughout his career, San Martin was known for his work in both Spanish cinema and international productions, though he remained primarily a character actor. His most notable roles often involved him playing stoic, reserved men who added depth to the narrative. San Martin married once and had 2 children, though his personal life faced struggles. His marriage ended in a painful divorce, and the separation took a significant emotional toll on him. Over the years, he faced the heart-wrenching loss of both his parents and struggled with health issues in his later years, including heart problems. He passed away on April 24, 2019, in Madrid, Spain, at the age of 98, following a heart attack. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Once Upon a Time in the West, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.